Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rocks with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. Alright, rock stars, so a couple of housekeeping issues before we get started with the video. I've had a lot of people asking me when I am going to upgrade my equipment. And if you guys remember, I was in the market to purchase a new camera because I realized, like, okay, Roxanne, it is time. It's been 8 years. I still don't know why you guys need to see me clear, but I realize that I'm old and I'm fine with a regular old booty in the back TV. Okay, but we in the flat screen era now and people all want to see shit in high definition. Okay, I got it. Now, I bought this laptop back in 2011 when I was in school. And this laptop, my MacBook Pro, has served me well. Never had a problem with it. It has done everything that I have asked of it. I love this laptop. It is like an extension of me. Okay, when you see me, you see my laptop. So yes, love this thing. It's worked perfectly well. The problem though is that since it's so old, it is now no longer updatable. Okay, I'm not able to put the new software on this computer, which means that I'm not able to put any I'm not able to connect any accessories with this computer any longer. I can't update my phone. Save my phone things through iTunes. It doesn't recognize phones. It doesn't recognize anything that you connect to it. I can't even get on the internet with the only exception of YouTube. It's like God is looking out for my soul, and it's probably because YouTube was the only internet website that I always got on. That is literally the only website that I'm able to get on. Other than that, I can't even get onto my internet any longer on my laptop. Okay, I either have to be on the computer at work or my computer. We do have a Mac computer at my house, but you guys know that I do this on location. I am in the studio. I'm out and about. I love the fact that my laptop is portable. I'm able to do, edit on the go and all that. By the time I get home, I don't want to fuck with this shit no more. I don't want to fool with YouTube or anything. I rarely even pick up my computer when I'm home. So yeah, that is one of the reasons why I have not purchased a camera, because it will do me no good here. Now, I do know that I could film my videos on my phone. As a matter of fact, my Planet Rocks videos, I do film on my phone, and everybody has talked about the clarity of those videos, which it is, and it's because it's high definition, because it's on my phone and I'm able to edit from my phone. But I don't really want to do my Ford's Rocks videos on my phone because I'm still able to do more through iMovie. Even though it's old, I'm still able to do more on my computer than I am on the phone. So that is the reason why Planet Rocks are clearer videos. This one is still a little fuzzy, which I'm fine with, because once I get some high definition, y'all gonna see all my little pores and wrinkles and stuff. Y'all ain't gonna say I look nice and young no more. I don't really care about that. You guys have seen me without makeup and shit, but yeah, that's one of the reasons. And then another reason is because it is graduation time. It is prom time. I want to buy, we want to buy Jada a laptop for her graduation. We have all these other things that we're responsible for. That's way more important. Okay. And y'all know Rocky love y'all. Okay. So don't take it personally, but there's things that I have to do ahead of this, requires my attention before I start trying to buy another laptop for myself. Okay, so I am definitely going to buy a new laptop this year. It is definitely in my plans. I'm probably going to do it sometime around June. Let me get all this other shit out the way, y'all. But I've been at the Apple store. I have been looking at them new MacBook Pros. Oh, they're so beautiful. They're so thin compared to this. And when I bought this, I thought this was thin and light and little compared to my old ass Sony Vaio that I used to have. Okay, so yeah, I realize it's time to get with the times and everything, and I am definitely going to do that, but yeah, in time. So June. All right, so y'all just hold on until then, and then Rocky gonna have you. Also, while we talking, let's just talk about Married to Medicine, because you guys about to wear me out about this now. I done told y'all 100 damn times I never watched the Atlanta Married to Medicine. I only knew who the main people were, which was the ones that was always in the blogs. I can count on one hand that I've watched a full episode on the however many 8, 9 seasons that show has been on, and now people are still asking me to pick it up. I am fucking not picking that show up, okay? You gonna have to be fine with LA. I'm not picking up Atlanta. You don't have to keep asking me. If you guys know me by now, when I say I'm not gonna do something, I'm just not gonna do it. And the more you demand me to do it, I'm really not gonna do it. So I mean, it ain't no sense in us going back and forth through all of this, okay? I'm picking up LA because it's at the very beginning of the very beginning of the franchise. So yeah, you guys ain't got to consider it a personal, attack on your own character that I have not done Married to Medicine Atlanta. There's plenty other people that do it, and you can watch their reviews. Now, if you want to see Married to Medicine Los Angeles, then you can watch my reviews. But don't keep asking me to do Atlanta, because I'm not doing it. No intentions of watching it. I don't know who the fuck them people are. I don't know their stories. I don't care. Alright? And y'all know Rocky love you again. I do. Y'all need a hug? Okay. Shit. You ain't said nothing but a word. Rocky love y'all, but y'all get on my damn nerves sometimes with that. And, most of you guys have gotten the picture, but it's always somebody who demands. And that's really what really gets on my nerves, is the whole demandation. Yes, that's not a word. Yeah, that's it. So, housekeeping, we just had to get that all cleared up. We're going to let's get on to the video now, shall we? All right, rock stars. So, very first story up. Okay, the Justice Department has charged about 50 rich folks. We're not going to say white folks. We're going to say rich folks, because this is definitely a case of the wealthy, even though most of them are probably white, but I'm just like, listen, white rock stars, now y'all just gonna have to take this one. It ain't too many times that we get to tease you guys on some shit that you did, and that is actually illegal and caught by the authorities. So you just gonna have to take this one on the chin, white rock stars. I still love y'all too, okay? I mean, fuck it, we had to take it with Jussie, so y'all get to take it this time. Let's just get on through this conversation, okay? So the Justice Department said that there was this long-running scheme where rich folks paid off coaches and people who are able to call the shot, basically, for their children to get into big-name elite colleges and universities. And these schemes range from paying money to change scores on entrance exams, such as the ACT or the SAT. Okay, that was the crime of choice for Felicity Huffman from Desperate Housewives. We all know her best from that show. They say that she paid $15,000 for a proctor to change the scores on her kids' SAT. Evidently, her kid had scored 1020 on the SAT, the pre-SATs. Felicity ended up paying $15,000 for the proctor to change her kids' test scores, added 400 points to their SAT scores, so that she got a 14, or I'm not sure if it's a boy or girl, but got 1420 on their SAT scores, which is considerably higher, of course, and you getting hit in different percentiles. When you have a higher score, better chance of helping you get into college and even get full scholarship, full rides when you have a high enough SAT or ACT score. Another crime of choice would be what Lori Loughlin did, which was paying coaches at these elite universities to create portfolios. Well, they would create portfolios of these students who supposedly were sportsmen. These fake profiles and portfolios were created for these kids so that the coaches would use it to give these kids scholarship and gain entrance into the university that way, even though these kids weren't even playing the sport. That was Lori Loughlin's crime of choice, like I said, and she paid $500,000 for her two girls to go, to be accepted into USC that way. And these were all under the guise of charitable donations. Now, charitable donations is because there was a nonprofit organization by the name of Key Worldwide Foundation. And this nonprofit cloaked the bribes that people would donate to the organization. Whoever the person was who started this organization was the go-between and had the contacts at these colleges and universities and also on these testing boards where if you had paid the money, then you were able to get whatever it is that you were asking the service of the Key Worldwide Foundation. And if you ask me, this has probably been going on for years and years and years. These rich folks probably have been using their money and influence. There's probably always been some go-between guy that had these contacts. He just had the smarts enough to set it up into a foundation, you know, able to write that off on the taxes, but that's a whole nother issue. But probably always had this contact with these people. Now, it would have gone on undetected as it has thus far had not somebody probably been out and talking too much. You know, they didn't let somebody in the group, you know, and ran their mouth a little too much, and the authorities were alerted. Now, they said it was over 500 people that was a part of this organization. They arrested, I believe they said somewhere around 50. They said there are many more arrests to come. So we are definitely going to keep our eye on this story, you guys. And to be very honest with you guys, this story pisses me off so bad. I really, really hope that they make an example out of these rich folks and they throw their asses in jail, and that means Felicity too. I hate to say it because I really do like Felicity Huffman, and you know, her $15,000 compared to $500,000. I was like, $500,000 to go to SC? To go to SC, now listen, SC is a great school. It's a private school in Los Angeles, but goddamn it, if I'm spending that kind of money, my kid is going to Princeton, Yale. I'm talking about the highest of the elite colleges. Princeton, Yale, Harvard. Them ones. Ivy League. What the fuck you doing that for USC? You done spent $500,000. That's more than the tuition there. All right? For your kids to go there, and now what? Okay? But yeah, like I said, I really hope that all of them go to jail, because anybody who's been in school, okay, in college, anybody who is a parent and has a child who you have been trying to make sure is prepared to go to college. And that means the stress of making sure your kids are studied up for these entrance exams, that you have the money to keep paying for them to go to these entrance exams to get higher and higher scores, even if you did pay for tutoring or if you paid for pre-testing, making sure that they fill out their applications correctly for colleges, universities, making sure their essays are on point, the fucking grueling and tiring paperwork that it takes to apply for one scholarship. And not to mention the stress of financial aid paperwork, okay, trying to make sure that your children have the, the adequate amount of funds to attend this school, probably setting them up for some future debt in their lives, okay? And child, we won't even get into the whole HBCU thing, okay? But the fact that as we as students or as parents have been through the stress of this, to know that there are people out there who take advantage of the system in this way, okay? Now, you already got some dumbass kids or some kids who really didn't do much in high school. Now comes time for them to go to college. You spending all this fucking money to send these kids to these schools illegally, possibly stealing the spot from somebody who truly deserves that spot, for them to probably get into college and then fuck that off as well. Okay, what are you teaching your children when you have completely and consistently handed their lives to them on a silver platter? I have conversations with my friends who have kids all the time, and we are all very aware of how much we have to let our children learn, that we have to have them prepared for the real world, and that we cannot, as much as we try to protect our children from the pitfalls of life, because we have already been there, sometimes you just have to let your kids figure that out on their own. And for you to continue to hold these kids' hands when they don't deserve it, and do this shit illegally. I mean, Lori Loughlin, look at her, for example. She spent $500,000, her and her husband, Massimo Giannulli. Okay, you guys know the designer. We see him in Target. He also has, you know, a major fashion house as well. They have spent $500,000 for their daughters to go there, and one of the daughters has been caught many times on her YouTube channel saying that she doesn't have any care for school. Okay, she isn't even sure how much she will be at school because she's got all these other things in the works, and that she really just wants to be a YouTube star. So in many of these cases, these kids probably don't even want to go to school, and it is the status and the stature and the mindset of the parents who are, you know, making sure that their children, you know, they can't have it out there in their communities that their kids was the fuck up, was the dumbass, okay, was the one who only got a 1020 and probably could only go to Cal State LA, or, you know, one of the state colleges, or, you know. They are more concerned about the fact that their children are at these schools that represent them. Okay, now you're representing your parents. So Lori Loughlin should feel some kind of way about the fact that her daughter has said it plenty of times that she don't even give a fuck about school. And here you go, still forcing that child or your children to go on and do something that they don't even want to do. Okay, and then you're going to go to jail for it. You're going to go to jail. I really hope you are. Because this is such a... I mean, it is such a travesty. And every time I see it on the news, I just be like, ooh, they need to throw their ass in jail. And I can't wait to see who else of these big names. Now, I do realize that they're making an example out of Felicity and Lori. Okay, we know that Felicity is married to Gary H. Macy. Is that his name? You don't hear much about him, so maybe he didn't know he may not have been involved, because some of the stories have been that the students or the family members may not have even known what the suspect was doing. So maybe that's why they haven't really focused on the husbands, and it's mostly been the mothers. But yeah, you guys, this is really, 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 really ridiculous. Okay, I get it. We all want the best for our children, but this definitely was not the way to do it. And now they're finding that out. All right, the Justice Department says they are going after everybody who broke the fucking law, and they need to do just that. What did you guys think about this story? It is really a big deal, and I know it's a lot of people that are shaking in their boots and hoping that they don't get caught up. They did fire a lot of the coaches at these schools, and some of these entrance counselors and, you know, other people that had been paid off, as they should, and that's the least of their troubles. I'm sure they worried that they ass gonna go to jail. Throw them in jail. Throw them in jail. That's all I got to say about it, you guys. But you tell me what you think about this whole story. All right? Was it a surprise to you? Definitely not a surprise to me, but it's so disheartening to me that there are people out here doing shit like this. Okay? But that's what your ass get. Throw them in jail. Guys, so the Boeing 737 MAX 8 and 9 both have been grounded, okay, after two devastating airplane crashes that have happened recently. Both of these airplane crashes happened within the past 6 months. So y'all stupid ass president finally came out and said that they were grounding those until Boeing can get it together. Boeing has said that they still have overwhelming confidence in their planes, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things, when you think of all the millions of flights that go, you know, that are in our skies at all times, you know, these planes, this is a very small percentage in all of the, you know, so the safety of our airlines is still intact. However, the fact that these planes continue to show some issue, and like I said, these two plane crashes where everybody died. Okay, yeah, they went on ahead and said that they had to recommend the grounding to the FAA out of concern. Now, people are complaining that they took a long time to do this, that it should have been done a long time ago, especially since many other countries had already grounded those planes. They're saying that United, American, and Southwest Airlines all had planes like this in their lineup. However, again, it was just a small percentage, less than 5% of their whole fleet. They've had the specialists looking into the issues from the satellite data from these plane crashes, and they're saying that they believe that there's an issue with the autopilot system. They said that at similar points in both crashes, the software went bonkers, it messed up, it malfunctioned, and it forces the planes to go into a nosedive when the planes are taken off. Okay, so somehow the system is being signaled that the nose is too high, and in at least in those two cases of the crashes, the pilots were not able to recover the planes. But they have had other instances where pilots were able to recover the planes, but it was the same thing. When they were taken off, the nose was up high and it forced the plane to go into a nosedive. So definitely not good. I mean, you have to have your plane. Your plane is definitely going to have its nose up when it's taken off, right? So yeah, we of course didn't know about those other cases, but now that these two plane crashes have happened, now we're starting to hear more and more about that plane having some issues with it. So Boeing has taken it down, and we are going to see what happens with that. Okay, in the meantime, our prayers go up to the families that, you know, were lost. Some generations, I was reading a story, there were 3 generations of a family that was on the flight, the Ethiopian flight, that all of them were wiped out. So I mean, you can just imagine the heartbreak that would bring. So our prayers up for all those that were affected and, you know, was killed on those flights. And hopefully Boeing will get it together. Okay, they will definitely have to do the work necessary to get these planes, you know, either back in the lineup or just pull them out altogether. I'm sure they don't want to do that. I'm sure they have invested quite a bit of their money into that plane. So we'll see what else happens. But yeah, 737 MAX 8 and 9 have been grounded. Alright, you guys, so they say that George Foreman's daughter, Frida Freeman, was found dead in her home near Houston the other day. They say that an emergency crew had been called in and they found her hanging inside. So they have ruled it a death by suicide. They didn't think that there was any foul play, and they're saying that it wasn't then. But very sad. I couldn't find much on her. You know, she wasn't a celebrity, so I couldn't find much about her on the internet. I did read that she was a former boxer, professional boxer, 5-1, but she had retired because she wanted to be home with her family. She had 2 kids, 3 grandkids. She was married. She was one of George Foreman's 7 daughters. You guys know he has what, like 10 kids. So yeah, sad. He tweeted all of the things that she had accomplished in life and just saying that this was the first Sunday that he did not see his daughter. He was heartbroken about that. You know, I can't, 42 years old, so young, so sad. But again, brings about the at least needs to bring about the conversation about depression and mental health issues. You know, we're talking about that more and more these days, you guys, and just being there for people, checking in on people. I'm not sure what her problems may have been, but if she's hanging herself, there was something going on there. So prayers up for George Foreman, his family, his daughter Frida Foreman's family, you know, her kids and grandkids, husband. She was 42 years old. Rest in peace, Frida Foreman. All right, you guys, so let's talk about the Millennium Tour. So it kicked off, when did it kick off? Was it Sunday night? It was sometime over the weekend, I believe. I remember seeing all of the clips on Instagram, and it just warmed my heart to see that they actually was able to pull the shit off and get everybody involved and actually selling out these stadiums and really, you know, getting up all of the excitement of the fans of B2K and Pretty Ricky and Bobby Valentino with his big stomach, and Mario, and I think it's supposed to be the Yin Yang Twins, but I did see the clips with Yin Yang Twins and Chingy. And if I'm forgetting anybody else, but those are the people that I can remember. You know, it was cool to see that it happened. Everybody seemed like they was having a good time. Okay. And yes, everybody is getting older. Definitely so. I don't know what people expect when there's a group that has not performed together in years, has gotten older. You know, they're not like your new edition. You can't compare B2K and Pretty Ricky to like a new edition because they've always toured. So they've always kept up their dance moves. They are used to being on stage. You know, it was nothing. They ain't had to knock no cobwebs off or nothing. Okay. They've been singing. They've been doing it all this time. When you have a group of people that are trying to get back together and, you know, got to get back in the swing of things, it is expected for them to not necessarily be as sharp as they had been. So I was fine with that, but you know, it still felt good to see them. And some of them really can still very much dance. I mean, J-Boog. Child, I love me some J-Boog. I'm telling you, that boy is fine as fuck. And did you guys see when he did the little the beginning opening scene? I'm gonna post it on my Instagram today again, just so you know we can appreciate the movement. But he did it. What is it? I keep wanting to say. I'm keep on trying to say set it off. It ain't set it off. It's it's I can't think of it. I'll put it on the screen. But just to see him doing breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe. I was like, you better get it, boy. Y'all can't do that shit anyway. And Raz B, who was sticking those moves, and from what I understand, Raz B is still performing out, you know, out of the country. I believe he's over in China. So his moves are still very sharp, but yeah, everybody's older, you know, it's fine. Okay? It's more about just the nostalgia of seeing your favorite group, you know, back on stage together with all the drama that they have been through, performing again. So it's all good, right? So they've had a couple of little concerts. Well, I won't say little. Like I said, they've been selling out these stadiums, so they've been doing good. Yesterday, I see a video of Raz B saying that he is no longer in the Millennium Tour. And Raz B was the main person that I was worried about the most. We've talked about Raz B a few times here on Top of the Blogs. We know that Raz B blasted that Chris Stokes had molested them when they were younger, made them do certain things to each other and also to him. And Raz B has been very vocal about that in the past. It has definitely rerouted his life, not always in the best way. Raz B has been through some shit. I would imagine that all of them have been through quite a bit. It's just that Raz B was the most vocal out of all of them. But that was one of the reasons why I thought it was really commendable that they were able to get back together in the first place, because of such the history that goes on with B2K in particular. But I was always mostly concerned that he was going to be the one that just wasn't going to be able to stick this one out. And then, yeah, he did a video yesterday saying that he was out. He does not feel safe because Chris Stokes is around. All right. And so when he says that, I'm thinking to myself, like, what? You know, Chris Stokes does not need to be there. It's not super surprising to me that he would show up, considering he was, you know, their manager. Even though he's not their manager any longer, but he produced some of their music, and I guess he could say somewhere along the lines that he still has something to do with B2K, but legally, no, you really don't. And there's really no reason why, unless there was something that we don't know, there's really no reason why he should be there. I started thinking, like, maybe they probably told Raz B that they were trying to get this whole thing together. None of them were really working and making the money like they had been, I'm sure, when they were performing. So they dangled this carrot. You can make this money on this tour. You know, we can just do this. It's only going to be a couple of months out of our lives, and then we'll have some money, and, you know, they can be comfortable again, at least for, you know, the length of time it takes for them to spend that money up. So I'm sure that that was what made him decide to do this tour. All right, they probably said, you know, Chris won't be around. You don't have to worry about that, but it probably hasn't been worked into any contract. They probably just assumed that he wouldn't, you know, that he would stay away considering the history. But Chris Stokes evidently, obviously, is there. Raz B may have said something to Chris Stokes and vice versa, or someone from Chris Stokes' team may have said something to Raz B and vice versa. But whatever it is, those old feelings came back. He doesn't feel comfortable, and he just decided that he was not going to do it any longer. Okay, he did say that, you know, if he's able to speak to Omarion, and maybe they can get the shit back on track. But as of that video, he wasn't doing it. But later on, they was able to figure it out. He put out a statement saying that he's a work in progress, and, you know, that the fans matter, and thank you everybody for your outpouring of support, because everybody really does have, you know, we feel for Raz B. He's in a peculiar place. Okay, just get through this fucking concert. I hope it doesn't mentally fuck him up even more, though. But B2K did put out a video together, you know, them saying that they are definitely going to finish up this tour, that they spoke with Raz B, that they are there for him, that's their brother, and that they may not agree on many things all the time, but they always agree that their fans come first, and that they are going to definitely do this. They're dedicated, you know. So they did do a video trying to make sure that everybody understood that they're trying to work through the kinks, but they have an understanding now. And I'm hoping part of that understanding is that Chris Stokes will not be there. Now, it hasn't been proven that Chris Stokes did this to these boys, but I believe it, because why would you want to say some shit like that, you know, as a man, and let people know that these kind of things happen to you, and did it so much and so loudly, okay, and always maintained it. And I believe that that group, Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston, all them weird. Okay, I went on their Instagrams yesterday, because I was just trying to get an idea of where everybody was in their lives now. Strange. Marcus Houston just got engaged to a 19-year-old girl. Like, he's 37. There's a whole bunch of strangeness there. But that's neither here nor there, and nothing really to do with Raz B. But I just was you guys go on and check that shit out for yourselves and see what you come up with. But yeah, my heart does go out to Raz B, but I really want them to make it through this tour. They need the money. This would be a good time if they were really able to work it out, for them to even have some more music come out. I mean, you can capitalize so much on this. I really want it to happen for them. Okay, so we're rooting for him. Chris Stokes, take your ass on somewhere. If you are responsible for some of the songs that they sing, I'm sure you're going to get your money off of it some kind of which way. Leave them alone so that they can get what they need to get done. Okay, you go on and live your life, and let everybody else be happy. Let's get this tour done. Okay, and hold your head up, Raz B, B2K. Y'all going to be fine. Alright, you guys, so the police were called in to R. Kelly's residence the other day, as there was a report called in to the National Human Trafficking Hotline that 5 women staying in R. Kelly's residence in the Trump Towers, including Azriel Clary, they were going to carry out a suicide pact there in the home. So the police were called out to R. Kelly's home. R. Kelly just so happened to be there with his lawyers. He was having a meeting. I'm sure he's probably having quite a few meetings with his lawyers these days. But when the police showed up, his lawyers were there, so they were able to handle this call and let the police know that it was false. Okay, nobody there was planning on doing a suicide pact. Everybody was fine. Yeah, it was, you know, it was a fake call to the hotline. At this point, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who are either going to be harassing him. Possibly they called in the call hoping that, you know, they'll get those women out of there, which is going to be difficult considering the women that are in the home. I don't know who these 5 women might be. We only know of Azriel and Joycelyn, right? But I am willing to bet that if there are 5 women in that home, they are all of age. And that is the biggest issue. People keep saying that they're brainwashed and, you know, they don't want to go, whatever. So you can keep calling into these hotlines, but I don't know how much of a difference that is going to make. But yeah, they are really definitely trying to get on his nerves and add more stress to his life than I'm sure through. His life is already quite stressful. Like I've told you guys plenty of times, they're gonna get him, and it's gonna be something every week. So unless it's really something really big, you guys, I think we might have to go on and retire old Robert. Had enough of talking about him. Okay, until the day happens where he is behind bars, he's on retirement now. Okay, all right. And then lastly, in Quickies, okay, the video of Nene going off on her castmates. I'm not going to spend a long time on this. I had a whole segment written up for it, and then I was just like, you know what, fuck it, let's put this part of Quickies. Okay, Nene is mad at everybody about the bi-wig segment and them talking about it on the reunion, I'm supposing. She's gone on. She's decided that she's going to unfollow everybody. Fine. She's decided that nobody on there is her friends. They're all her castmates. Okay, including Cynthia. She says that Cynthia has done a lot of, you know, sneaky, backhanded shit to her over the years, and she's finally realized that Cynthia is not for her. Okay, now we realize Cynthia and Nene always go through this shit every couple of years. Like many of you have pointed out, they break up, they get back together as per the friendship contract. But, you know, it's just like, I'm so sick of Nene, and I've always liked Nene, but, you know, Nene does have that, you know, childish throwing a fit thing about her that we have to suffer through anytime some shit is not going well in her life. Okay, she was very much this way when her and Greg were getting a divorce. Just unlikable, unpleasant, always fighting with everybody, just nasty, just unagreeable, just, you know. So she was like that then, and now that Greg is ill, and I still feel like their relationship is on the line, you know, she's this way again. I don't really know what else to say until we actually see the reunion and see exactly what the issue is. But as far as Nene is concerned, she's done with everybody, and she's just their castmate. And this is always kind of a nail in the coffin when people start feeling like they don't like any of their castmates on the show. Then who are you going to film with? You know, if Nene is going to get to the point where she don't like nobody, then maybe it might be time for Nene to step. Okay, I think that would be, you know, a small blow to the show, but they'll recover. And many of us are hoping that Kenya makes it back. I mean, I would even be cool with Phaedra coming back, but I really think it's a wrap on Phaedra. I kind of had an idea that maybe she would, but now that Nene is pissed off, and I think Nene would have been the main one to kind of campaign for Phaedra to come back. But now, you know, so it's just like, oh, you know, I'm so sick of Nene. That's it. That's enough about old Nene. But yeah, she mad at her castmates, y'all. I need somebody to go check on Brandy. I hear she was singing at the Jazz in the Gardens Music Festival in Miami Gardens, Florida. And she fell down the stairs as she was singing. And that's no big deal. I mean, some of the best performers out there, you know, have fallen. We've seen it on video. We've seen it in person. You know, many times they fall. It could be a nasty fall, but they get their ass back up and they keep on performing. Okay? So Brandy is no different from anybody else. The only difference this time is when Brandy fell, it showed that she was lip syncing. Of course, the music went on. She fell down the stairs and her foot got tangled up in the stairs, even to the point where it looked like her shoe came. Yeah, I'm telling you, I saw the video. I was so embarrassed for her because it was such a production. I mean, she had the microphone completely in the air as she was trying to get her feet untangled from wherever it was. Okay, and the music was just going on and on and on. And again, I guess lip syncing is not that big of a deal, but when you say that it's Brandy, okay, who is a self-proclaimed vocal Bible, then yes, people are going to have something to say about it. And I was so embarrassed for her. I was just like, oh my God, somebody turn the music off, okay? I mean, they just had it going and going, and she trying to get her shoe together and all of this. I was just like, of all the people for this to happen to Brandy. Now, she's had a couple of mishaps. On top of this, she just recently canceled a big performance that she had planned for the Kennedy Center. At the very last minute, she canceled because they said she had laryngitis, and I think they said like eardrum hemorrhaging or something. So at the very last minute, she canceled. And, you know, people were starting to say like, oh my God, is Brandy starting to experience that extreme stage fright that she's talked about in the past? Now, you guys know I don't follow Brandy anymore. I had to love her from a distance. But we all know that Brandy, as much as she likes to say how confident she is, she definitely has self-confidence issues. She does let the naysayers get in her ear. She acts out and she makes it seem like, you know, she's strong enough and she doesn't care about what people say, but she does. And when things like this have happened, it makes me feel so sorry for her, because this just compounds the issues that Brandy has and makes it worse. I don't really know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on with Brandy. She definitely can still sing, I'm sure, okay? But I hate that happened. I hate that happened and it was caught on video, because it's just something else that she just does not need to have to deal with. They said she did continue on with the concert and she was singing and everything, but yeah, I just hate that happened for her. So somebody go on out there and check on her, make sure that she all right. Congratulations to J-Lo and A-Rod, who I never thought was serious enough for them to actually say they wanted to get married, but it looks like A-Rod wants to make J-Lo his forever. We saw pictures of them, you know, on the beach and him proposing to her and they hugging and kissing and all of that, and it looks like once again J-Lo is engaged to get married. I don't know if I feel like they'll make it, you know, to the altar, but I also don't pay much attention to J-Lo and A-Rod. Okay, they're a good looking couple. They look happy enough. His kids seem to love her and her kids seem to love him and his kids. So, you know, they all look good together. So, I mean, I guess we'll just see. But, you know, if Jose Canseco had anything to say about it, then they won't even make it to the altar, because he says that A-Rod is having an affair with his ex-wife. Okay, now him and his ex-wife haven't been together for years. I think they said like over 10 years or something like that. But Jose Canseco swears that A-Rod is still fooling around with his wife. Now, he may have fucked around with her back in the day, but he's probably not fucking around with her right now. And as a matter of fact, his wife said, you know what, I know A-Rod and J-Lo. I'm friendly with both of them. I am not having an affair with him. I haven't seen him in years. At least 5 years, she said. So she said, you know, Jose just tripping, he mad. Okay, he just trying to besmirchify her name. All right, so and I don't think that A-Rod, you know, once you have J-Lo, you know, why you would even be fooling with that. Although, honey, it ain't, you can't put it past none of these niggas these days, honey. They can have the baddest and the best and still will fuck around. So, but yeah, I don't think so. I think Jose just hating as usual. So, congratulations to the happy couple. Also, congratulations to Crayon Case owner and CEO Wazam Super, okay, also known as Super Scent, and her husband Lou, okay, who just welcomed bouncing baby girl into their family, Leah May Leagea. I'm sure I'm saying that last name wrong, Leagea. That looks like Leagea to me. Anyways, congratulations to them. They had a baby, and I believe the baby was 5 pounds, somewhere around there, okay, healthy. And you know what else makes Super Scent so super duper? Is that she closed on a warehouse deal while she was in labor. So you gotta love her. She is grinding. She's trying to make it happen for herself and her family. Now she has a little baby to add to the mix. Congratulations to Super and Lou and little baby Leah. And lastly, speaking of super duper, y'all like how I added that in? I'm gonna give y'all a fist pump of righteousness for my girl Missy Elliott. Okay, you guys know I love Missy Elliott to death. I think that she's one of the only there's only a handful of people, if I were ever to meet them in person, I would actually be starstruck. You know, living in LA, you bump into a lot of celebrities, but she is definitely one that I'd be like, oh my God. Okay, like, oh my God. Like, I wouldn't know, you know, I would keep it cool though. But inside, I would be like that. But congratulations to her. She is going to receive an honorary doctorate at Berklee College of Music in the Boston, Massachusetts area. They said that this degree is for artists who are being recognized for their achievements and influence in music and for their enduring global and for their enduring global impact. Okay, so Missy Elliott is one of the artists that will be receiving it, along with Justin Timberlake and a composer by the name of Alex Lacamoire. Lacamoire, probably butchering that name. It's a French last name, it looks like. They're also slated to receive degrees, but this ain't about them. This is only about my girl Missy Elliott, who is legendary, who deserves all of the accolades. Shout out to Nene. And I just think that she should get more and more. There's nobody out there like Missy Elliott. So I love her so, you guys. So fist pump of righteousness for Missy Elliott. Okay, y'all gonna get enough of this black girl magic, ain't you? Missy, keep doing your thug thizzle. Rockstars, that is it. Let me get off of here. It's starting to get hot in this car, even though it's very cool outside, even though they're talking about it was going to be 80 degrees today in Atlanta. It is 80 nothing. It's overcast and it ain't going to get that hot. I don't know what the hell is going on with this weather out here. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. We do this every single week. So make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.